change the things around you. Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, when you gonna hear his revelation? Oh, oh, let it move inside of you.
Welcome, beautiful souls, to Infinite Perspectives, where voices become vision and vision becomes transformation. I am Michelle Diamond, the voice, author, creative, and the co founder of this platform. Linda?
Yes, thank you, Michelle. I am Linda Boston, founder of Peer Incorporated, which is portable educational and entertainment repertoire. I am an actress, a singer, an author, and your co host.
Awesome. Tonight's conversation is not light and it's not surface, it's real, it's human, and for someone watching, it may be the conversation they didn't know they needed.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Because sometimes the strongest people we see are the ones who have had to fight silently through things no one else could see.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, and you're correct, Linda. And tonight, we're not just talking about survival, we're talking about what happened after you survive.
Yes.
Do you shrink or do you rise
That's
and
it.
become the change you once needed? Infinite
That's it.
Perspectives is proudly brought to you by Peer Incorporated, Next Level Promotion, a division of Infinite Perspectives Brands, Moniker Enterprises, Carlotta Cole the Brand, and Unlimited Networks Property Management. Tonight, we have the pleasure of welcoming Cassandra Battle, CEO of Meant to Be LLC, a mental health advocate, a mother, a leader, and a woman whose story did not end where it could have.
That's it.
She is a suicide survivor who chose not only to live, but to lead.
That's
That's it.
magnificent. That's magnificent.
That's it.
Because when someone takes their pain and turns it into purpose, that's not just healing, that's
That's it.
transformation.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Linda, you that's the word.
That's the
Cassandra,
word.
That's it. She did
we
that.
have the pleasure of welcoming you to this amazing platform, Infinite Perspectives. And tonight, we're not just talking about what you've been through, we're honoring who you've become. So, with that being said, Cassandra, before the advocacy, before the campaign, who were you in the moments no one saw?
Whew. First, before I begin, I want to thank y'all both for allowing me the opportunity to speak. As a child growing up in rural South Georgia, I have been conditioned to be silent. A lot of what happens in your house stays in your house conditioning. So it kind of stuck with me through life and led me down a lot of paths that I don't know how I even managed to make it out of, but I thank God I'm here. And so in moments when no one really could hear me, I was a frightened, overstimulated child who was walking around in an adult woman's body who did not get the opportunity to heal because now I look as if I'm old enough to know better or do better. And so whenever I would say, hey, I need help, now it's like, what are you talking about? You're just fine. I never had the support to just simply get help, receive help, and heal from a community. And
Mm.
my goodness, that has it has followed me um, throughout my life. But I am so very grateful that I kind of broke out of that, because when I found my voice and I realized that my voice is exactly what I needed to break a lot of barriers and a lot of um, issues that I was facing, I kind of catapulted into the future. I was no longer stuck in the past. I kind of was able to move forward. So, um, silent me, quiet me. No one knew what was going on me. I hid a lot of that because even as a child, I enjoyed acting. I was in drama club. I loved yearbook
Mm.
staff, newspaper. I enjoyed writing other people's stories because I could live vicariously through other people. My house was
Excuse
conditioned
me.
to hide and not speak my truths because I had to kind of read a line or a script to someone else to almost feel like I could fit in and be accepted.
Mm.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
That's
yes.
very interesting. You said that it's powerful to know that you turn to the arts to make it through too, you
I
know.
did. Yes,
Was
ma'am.
there was there ever a moment where in all of that turmoil everything shifted, where you knew something had to change? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I think my biggest turning point was when I was kind of fed up with compromising my culture for coins. Um,
Mm.
and what I mean by that is being educated, being friendly, being involved, um, wanting to lead, but being in the environments like the different workplaces, I always had great, strong leadership skills, but I always had someone doubting me in the background. And I always kind of had to overprove myself. And I kind of got tired of feeling that. I almost had like a fatigue with my career at one point in time. And I was going through a lot at home. I was going through a lot just in life, period. But work is where we spend a lot of our time. You know, if you have a full time job, you're spending 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours with your work family, and you don't give that much time consistently to your own family. So
Mhm.
a lot of my moments happen at work where I was trying to fit into this box. I wanted to be the Cassandra that was very confident, but I come off very country and loud. And I also am very culturally proud. You know, Black History Month, I want to share you all the facts that can be shared, but it's just, you know, I had to tone down. I had to kind of die down. And suppressing who I was as an adult was a breaking point for me. I already had to suppress my inner child who was not heard when bad things happened, who did not get guidance from, you know, non-custodial parents, who didn't get guidance even from the parent who was, you know, responsible for me because of the obligations they had to go through being a single parent, you know. So now here I am. I've fought through all of those trenches. I'm an adult now. I've come into the scene in the work environment. I'm labeled as great by everyone else, but for whatever reason, I'm still not good enough. And in June of 2020, June 3rd, 2023, I walked into my job and I told them, I said, I no longer want to be here. Um, if it wouldn't have been for one person asking me, what exactly did you mean by that? I would have went home with them thinking I just don't want to work there anymore, but I no longer wanted to live.
Mm.
I didn't have
Mm.
peace at home. I didn't have peace at work. Um, I just did not have peace at all. And I was tired of living just that way and just putting on. You know, I could no longer pick up the mask and put it on every day. It was falling off. You could tell something was wrong with me if you truly paid attention. My hygiene's let go. I would roll out of bed because I've been up all night the night before and roll out of bed trying to hurry up and get to work. Now I'm late every day, and now I'm grumpy at work because I'm tired and I'm just depressed.
Mm.
And I didn't know what that was, um, and I didn't know how to help that because in my culture it seems like we don't talk about mental health at
Mm.
all. And I had no idea what mental health was until I was literally admitted into a mental institution for the first time in June of 2020 when I admitted that I had no longer wanted to be here. I had my plans written out. I made sure that I was ready to go. I was ready to go. And one person said, "What exactly do you mean?" And I broke down and advised, "I no longer want to be here as in living. I don't want to be here. I don't. My life is not worth it anymore." And
Mm.
that person was my vice president of the company I worked for at the time, and he personally drove me to the hospital. He saw a lot of value in me. I think there was a lot of me having to prove myself to him on other levels, that he saw himself instead of hearing what other people had to say about me. He discovered the real Cassandra, and he found compassion to help me get to where I actually got the help I needed, which is why I'm here today.
Wow. Oh, that mm, definitely brought some goosebumps. And I want to sit here for a moment in this share, because it was a huge share. And we commend you for taking, accountability, because we have to be accountable for all of our actions, right? And then
Absolutely. Absolutely.
having the strength to overcome, and then even bigger, the courage to
That's it.
share the story here with us on this platform. And as we're
Absolutely.
sitting with this, for someone who may be silently sitting in that space right this second, right
Okay.
here, right now,
Hmm. Hmm.
what does it actually feel like from the inside? Something that you may be able to connect with someone and it resonates to, yeah. What is that?
Absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful
That
question.
beautiful question. And I appreciate someone diving a little deeper to pull things out, because that's what saved me. And what I can say to anyone who feels like they're facing suicide ideation, the idea, the concept, the planning of suicide attempts, I need you to understand that just because you get a no or you're not getting help in one space, please keep trying and move forward somewhere else. You are here for a reason. It took me a few years after my first suicide attempt to fully understand my purpose. But as my sweet friend here, Michelle, said, accountability. Once I took accountability for my actions and realized I am in this place because of me. I am not happy because of me. I've allowed other people to come in and lay labels on me and lay false claims on me and even steer me wrong. Take advantage of my kindness and say, hey, you'll be great doing this in life. And I try to do that, just trying to fit in and be accepted. And I end up not being happy. That was work, relationships, just anything. So please, please, please keep moving. Something I always say in my speaking engagements is that movement is proof that life exists. When you stop and you get stuck in a certain place, you flatline. And we all know, if you hooked up in a machine at the
Mhm.
hospital, you want the ups and downs in life. You want that thing to go beep, beep,
Absolutely.
beep, beep, up and down. You want to have ups and downs. And when we understand that life is truly full of ups and downs, and it's just how you respond and how you get back up, you can kind of strategize differently how to not even put yourself in this position again of feeling worthless and alone. Because again, it took me 5 years before I really understood my purpose. But I knew, because I was spared from my suicide attempt, and that June 3rd was just the first attempt that I made. Once I got into the mental hospital and I was finally diagnosed with mental illnesses, PTSD, anxiety, depression, now I know why I'm feeling this way. So now when I start feeling this way, I have a better plan on how to prepare and not crash out or anything. But I didn't know what to do with it. It was 2020. The world was shut down. Um, I could not get the
Mm.
therapy help that I needed. So I crashed out again, and I tried to take my life a second time 6 weeks later, because I just couldn't
Wow.
handle the newness. I did not know who this new Cassandra was. I had never had a chance to sit down and understand me. I've always tried to love and understand me through different people. What you accepted out of me is what I tried to chase after. So I never understood who I was. And I'm telling whoever may be stuck in that position, I guarantee it, you will feel failed because of the failures that other put on you through their own decisions, whatever their reasons are. You're not a failure. You're not alone. Please don't think you're alone. And utilizing your voice and speaking up is how you find connections to grow stronger.
You
So
know
keep
what?
pushing.
We need to let people sit with that for a minute, don't you think, Michelle?
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Um, I did have something to elaborate on that so that we can sit still in everything that you just stated. And like I
Yeah.
said, this is near and dear to my heart. So you said a mouthful. You said you didn't know who Cassandra was. So now that you have had this experience, not once, but twice, and
Mm-hmm.
you're here, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you took accountability and
Mm-hmm.
your strength led you to this point where you are here advocating for
Correct.
not only yourself, but so many others.
That's it.
When you finally remembered who you were and who you are, how did that feel?
Yes.
Whew, that again, powerful question because I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not quite comprehend who I was fully until just recently. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
and since my suicide attempts, I have become a mother. I have become an advocate already. Um, and now even down to, campaigning for a position here locally. I just recently figured out who I am, what my purpose is. And that's because I had to remove myself from the situation for the last few years and really observe the world around me. I truly took the concept of
mm,
two eyes, two ears, one mouth for a reason. I became a student at life again. I just made a post that
mm,
said, if you're failing at life, become a student. Remove yourself from the situation. I was always trying to save people. I had to stop trying to be a savior. I had to
mm,
set boundaries, something I was not used to. Okay, it's something I was not used to. And um, that took time for me because I had been conditioned all my life. I'm the oldest child of four children with my mother who primarily raised me, or who raised me. And I was the mother hen of those
mm,
siblings. So I never really knew what it was like to be the, silly girls going to the mall to do the makeup and so even that affected my hygiene and growing up and my appearance and just becoming a woman. I didn't really know how to become a woman because I was conditioned to be a mama. And
Mm.
it's not my mama's fault per se. I just think she didn't get the help that I'm able to get now, which is the support of friends and resources, the internet to kind of look up stuff. So I did not find who I was or anything like that until just recently when I finally embraced that I'm this girl. Like things are happening without me asking, and they just keep aligning so perfectly because I became disciplined. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, these are my boundaries, these are my rules, this is my life. And I can't fumble this a third time. I had not one chance, but two chances to get it right. And I could not fumble that a third time, but I just didn't know how to do it. I don't come from a family of women who are groomed to be wives. Most of my women on my mother's side, the side I grew up on, we're all baby mamas. We're all divorced. We don't have functioning relationships. We don't know how to guide or support one another. So I could not run to aunties and help me out, please. I was battling that. Like, I came from this chaos because this is the environment I grew up in. I still love y'all, but I no longer could be part of some of this stuff either. So now it's, oh, she's different. She's bougie. No, now you don't want to support me. Well, now I have reconnected with my father's side of the family, and not that I did not know them, but I just didn't grow up with my father. So it's more of an in-depth relationship with that side of the family, and they don't know me, so they don't really know how Cassandra is if she's about to have a moment, and so they don't really know how to help me either. And I tell people all the time, I didn't grow up in the church either. I have been around the world finding God. I studied Kemet. I studied the Yoruba culture. I went in. I even sat down and said, well, maybe aliens did come to. You know what I'm saying? I went through all types of theological explanations as to who is this God and why did he try to save me? You know,
Mhm.
and I just heavily focus on building that relationship. Okay, God, it's just you and me today. What am I supposed to do? You
Yeah.
know, and because I had studied God in different religions and cultures, I understand that God is omnipotent and just everywhere. So I can bring him into every situation, you know. And when I finally sat down and realized this is my purpose and I kind of stopped pushing away from it, things just started unfolding and allowed me to kind of just finally find my purpose just recently.
Yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love you giving that detail because everyone goes through a journey. I was sharing with
Yes.
Michelle too long ago that I feel better about myself at this age than I did 20, 30 years ago. And
Uh-huh.
it's a place that we arrive at where we
Hmm.
know we are aligned and we're
That's it.
Say it
supposed
again. You better
That's
come
it.
on now.
That's
you
it.
know,
Good.
you
That's
know,
it.
I
That is
wanna
it.
also share that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and
Yes. That's
there's a
why I'm
place.
bringing green to the scene today.
Mhm, me too. Um, um, it is necessary for us to know that there are people that are in need. I even went through a
Yes.
battle of not knowing who I was when I was in my early 20s, late 20s, and I needed help. I think anyone who thinks they need a counselor thinks they
Yes.
need to talk to a psychologist. You got
Yes.
better help, you got your insurance plan that may cover it. Talk to someone. Don't hesitate.
Somebody. That's it.
Somebody can help you pull through the snot of your existence, you know?
That's it.
So
That's it.
what does it actually mean to survive something like that, Cassandra? Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give y'all the exact story of when I really realized, girl, you are blessed. Um, February 18th, 2025, just last year. Um,
Mhm.
let me just start by saying this. I am a product of Telfair County, Georgia. It's a very small rural community in central Georgia. I was born here, but I was uprooted and transplanted to the metropolitan Atlanta area, and that's where I was raised most of my life. So culturally, I was exposed to so many different things, different education. I was exposed to so many different things. And I thank my mother now for just uprooting us for that. And I just most recently returned back home because I do have twins and I kind of repeated some of the same patterns as my mother. And I am a single mother. And I moved back home into the housing authority, same housing authority complex I remember being in as a child myself. So this is a full 360 moment for me, y'all. Okay. And on
Mhm.
February
Okay.
18th of 2025, as a community liaison, just coming back home, being involved in my immediate community here, I heard cries from a neighboring mother. My niece came in the house and said, Auntie, something's going on outside. And as a community liaison, I was called on quite often that, hey, go handle this, go check out this, from the executive director of our property. So go up to this woman. She said her son was dead. She's outside sitting in front of her car. And she said, my son is dead. And I'm like,
Mm.
now this is not a neighbor I'm too familiar with. I know her, but I did not know her for real at the time. So I was told to stand by the door until ambulance and first responders got there. And when they arrived, I was the first one to walk them into the house to lead them down the hall, not knowing what I was going to expect. Y'all. We still did not know whether or not this young man was gone at this time. But as I walk into the house, I hit the corner and I see his lifeless body hanging from the bathroom shower curtain rod. That was the very first time that I faced my fate of what could have been had I been successful. Because now I see the
Mm,
aftermath. I see the
mm,
mama
mm,
crying outside.
mm.
I see the neighbors running like, no, what happened? I just seen him. Why didn't he talk to me? What's going on? I see all of this stuff unfolding. Well, he just lost his job. He was going through it with these friends. There was a pure sense of chaos in our community. And you know what I did? I went home. I fed my children. I put them in bed, and I thought nothing else of it until the next day when someone called me and said, "Cassandra, are you okay?" I was like, "What do you mean? What just happened yesterday?" I realized then I was so numb from dealing with my past and trying to sort out and figure out, God, what's going on? Why am I back down south? There's no resources here. My babies have autism. I got to drive everywhere. Why did I do this, God? What is going on? I was angry, and I was at a point where I just was ready to kind of leave from down here. But that moment happened. I went home and I was numb, and it did not dawn on me till a few days later, the weight of that situation and the fact that I saw what my fate could have been and saw all of the aftermath, and I was not fazed at all. I was not phased out because that PTSD kicks in so quickly for me. I'll pretend like a war is not happening and keep on trucking on because that's my defense mechanism. And I realize that I cannot be this blind anymore. Not by choice. I can't. I can't. And from that moment, Sinatra McNeil is his name. He was only 24 years old. He would have been 25 the following month. And that young man taking his life is what literally spared mine. I took value out of his loss, and I was able to pour back into my community immediately and unlock the superpowers that I've always had. I just never knew how to use them, and that was when I realized you've been saved and you've got to do something better.
I gotta thank the universe for you because you were there for the mother. Yes. You helped walk through the technicality of it. And you were able to do that because you were strong and had been through so much yourself.
Correct.
And all I can think about is these young people that I run into that want to give up just because they don't have friends that are following them on their social media, or they've lost friends, or somebody was talking about somebody.
That's it.
Come on.
That's it.
Come on.
Or because they simply don't have the love and support or the community to keep them motivated, because it's in a lot of situations that we see, it's sad. And this is why we're such huge community advocates.
Yes.
Or young people need us and we need them. It's not a one-way street. It's where we bridge the gap. And that is part of what we were discussing with the HBCU, with Felicia and, All Generations Foundation. It's so much work to be done. And with everything you said so much, and I'm grateful that Linda, thank the universe for you being there when you were needed. Your presence alone, you don't know what that meant to that mother at that moment. Even though your reaction was, "Oh, I was numb," it didn't really faze me. And it's sad because there are a lot of people that have the same reaction because they're so used to seeing this. Oh, this is the regular schmegular. It's normal. And it really isn't. It's truly sad. However, for you to be able to recognize that, that's powerful. So you're taking your power back, and I love that.
That's it. That's it.
So with you,
sis. Can I add something? Go ahead. Forgive me for interrupting.
Oh, no, not at all.
The power of that means that there are no mistakes.
That's it.
If someone else hysterical had been there, the mother wouldn't have walked through it well. She probably didn't walk through it well anyway. But you were able to guide the authorities through there. Ain't no mistakes. Your life is never a mistake. I just had to throw that in, Michelle. I had to throw it in.
Listen, there's no need to apologize, Linda. When it comes, it comes. You know how we are on this platform. when the word comes, it comes.
That's it.
Yeah. So
hey, I'm telling you, It's
Go
exactly.
ahead,
And
Cassandra.
I wanted to add to that, one of my main missions that kind of grew out of this circumstance was that I took, y'all talked about the generational gaps almost. We have to understand our youth because um, according to NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, and I worked with them just recently as well, uh, the second leading cause of death in Georgia between the ages of 10 and 24 is suicide.
Get out of
Suicide.
here.
The
Yep.
second leading cause. Our
I'm glad you
future
brought that up.
our future fathers, our future doctors, our future lawyers, all of them are taking their lives at this point because of the pressures. You got to understand. Now, I call myself a transitional generation baby because I was born in the 80s with a wall phone, but I also graduated high school with a cell phone in my hand. So I understand both worlds. But these babies now, in that age range, they come out with just influences on them already. So one thing I've learned is that learning me after all of the breakdown, learning who I was again and being comfortable with being my own best friend and being comfortable with my decisions helped me catapult forward as well. And I utilize the
Yes.
concept of AI. I try to relate to the generation. So I say, well, we're going to use AI since that's what y'all like to use to shift everything. But my AI is this: accountability and intentions. Once
Come
you take
on.
accountability for your actions, let's be intentional about being better with them. You know
Exactly.
what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
So we're not putting on filters to cover up things that God created
I
you
love
to
it, Linda.
walk around and show. Because how do I know that you're marked with God's blessing if you putting a filter on every time? I don't know who you are. So I don't know to come to you for help. You know what I'm saying? And just be real with yourself. If you're not having a good day, just simply be grown enough to say, um, this is not my day today. I can't be that happy, Cassandra, for you that you want me to be right now. I understand the
Yes.
difference between mental illnesses and mental health. I know that mental illnesses is what we're diagnosed with. The same way that you go get your eyes checked, that you go get your heart checked, that you go get those teeth and everything else checked. You have to check on your mental organ. It's not a demonic
Absolutely.
spirit because I'm telling y'all, I'm born in the Bible Belt of the South, and I took a world around back to my faith. Okay, it's not a demonic spirit. You are not a mistake. You are not weird. You have a condition that needs to be seen about by a professional and aided with therapy and possibly medication. Stop being afraid. We got to break these stigmas
Mm.
of what mental health and mental
Yes, we
illnesses are
do.
so we can really face who we are so we can become better and take accountability and be more intentional about being better products of society and just being better for yourself.
Absolutely.
Ah,
And that's it in a nutshell. I want to give some focus on, the comments that are coming in. Of course,
yes.
Linda did post a suicide helpline for anyone who needs it.
Thank you.
It's
That's it.
988 988. And Lisa Boston earlier comment came in when you were describing what you were going through in the beginning before you
Yes.
remembered who you were and who you
Mm-hmm.
are. She said,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's something, other people placing their failures on you. So glad
Oh,
you're
yes.
here to share your story. Gratitude to
Thank
you,
you.
Lisa. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And I believe this may be someone that you know. Sister Betty said, Sister Betty is watching. So
Hey, Sister
gratitude,
Betty. She
Sister
is
Betty,
one
for
of my
tuning in.
church sisters. Yes, she is.
We appreciate you supporting and being here with us. Gratitude and abundance. It's definitely
Yes.
reciprocated.
Yes.
With that, Cassandra, we're gonna go a little deeper, and
That's all right.
I want you to sit with this and just just speak your truth.
I
Yes.
got you.
At your lowest point, before the decision to live, what was the
Mhm.
truth you were holding that no one around you could see?
The truth that I was holding that no one else could see was that I was still carrying the weight of the 11-year-old girl who got the brunt of trauma. I've had trauma and dramas my whole life, but 11 was the time when I first opened my mouth and I asked for help, and I was basically told it's your fault that you're in this situation. And I can remember, I can just remember being numb in that moment, and I don't remember a whole lot else. I remember being just as numb as I was when I saw that young man in his lifeless state. I remember just not saying anything any longer and just moving on. So when I was at my lowest, I finally felt like I had become the parent that I had been raised with. I felt like I had neglected that 11-year-old, because now I'm an adult. I have options and ways to heal her, and I chose not to. Instead, I tried to rely on others to give me that happiness and to supplement, the loss that I've had, and fill in gaps. And when I wasn't getting it through them, I wasn't satisfied through them. It was almost like that little girl was tugging at me the whole time, saying, "Stop focusing on them, focus on me. We got to talk about this. And I wasn't ready to face me. I wasn't ready to face me. It was better for me to just take that to the grave and not be worried about anybody else asking me or worrying about it anymore, because I was tired of speaking and no one heard me."
God Almighty.
Ooh, that another tearjerker, and definitely resonated on so many levels. There's so many young children, male, female, out there that around that same age, younger, older, have similar stories.
Yes.
Mine was very similar to yours, but tonight it's not about me, it's about you. However, I could tell you that
I'm giving you a hug.
It takes you there.
Yes, ma'am.
It takes you there.
Yeah.
And
yes, ma'am.
Hello, Marvin. Marvin Banks says hello. He says hi.
Marvin. Yeah.
Hi, Marvin. Gratitude.
It's interesting that he sent a comment in. I went to high school with Marvin, and Marvin has seen people in our lifetime go through these things. It's touched close to home.
It is on so many levels. It's not about us tonight, it's about you. Just know that it resonates, and I'm quite sure it's touching so many others, because see, a lot of people sit, and this is on my heart to say, a lot of us sit with these huge boulders or worlds on our shoulders, carrying this weight that wasn't even meant for us to carry. It's not our burden to carry, because it was forced upon us, and we not knowing any better because of the programming that we were intentionally unfortunately, living with as truth. We just follow protocol because this is what we were programmed to do. Okay, well, they said I had to hush, or it was my fault, so I guess it was my fault, and I have to hush about it. But it's so important to give a voice for a reason, and that's why we are adamant about what we say and how we say it on this platform, because it is a safe space, and here your voice matters. And here you are more than welcome to remember who you are and take your power back. Because guess what? Before the world named you, okay, you were already here.
Come on. T.
Come on. You better say that. And I am very intentional about what I say and put on anybody else as well. I'm a geek. So some things that I have done to help me be better and feel more confident about myself too is Greek mythology will tell you that Cassandra was gosh, I don't know if she was a Greek goddess or what, but anyway, she predicted Troy, the war of Troy. And she was cursed because she turned down like another Greek god or something like that, and was cursed as a powerful prophet. She could always see things and could always talk about things and know what was going on, but was cursed to never be believed. I have a very unique mind. I don't believe that I can see into the future per se, but I can see stuff out 200 steps ahead, which is why I've always felt in HR field. I knew how to really provide resources to humans, because I could see you walking around. You're no longer happy. You wore that shirt yesterday. Something's going on with you. You're not just a number to me. You're a spirit to me. And my spirit feels heavy because something's off about yours. And I'm an empath. And I always was attracted to those type of people. And I always wanted to fix them because I know what it felt like for me, but I never took that energy to pour into me. So I become very dry. And what happens when you're dry, you crack, you become brittle. You're no longer as strong as you once were. And I needed somebody to pour into me, but I didn't even know how to ask for help because when the last time I did, I was told it was my fault.
Well, guess what? It's not your fault. And listen, sister, you are enough. Before the world told you who you were already enough. Boo.
Come on.
Anyhow, this comment is rare.
Yeah, it's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. I'm sorry. We all talk.
Yes. Oh no, we're good. We're not worried about that. What I'm saying is all comments coming in are absolutely lovely. We honor them. This one I'm going to ground and keep it anchored because listen, I've heard so many times this same exact phrase, and this hits home, and I need you to hear it, Sister Cassandra, from Indigo Starseed 9. You possibly know who that is. Indigo Starseed 9. I don't know your name, but gratitude. Indigo Starseed 9 says this, and let me tell you, it's gonna sit. Check on your strongest friend. I always saw you as the strong one. I didn't check on you. I'm so happy for your existence, heart.
Yeah. That individual is another star in my universe. You know, I always call everybody a planet or a star because we gravitate around each other. And you gravitate around things that keep you balanced more, you know what I'm saying? But we're all out here. We're all floating around. And that is somebody who has a gravitational pull on me and has had a gravitational pull on me for nearly 20 years now. And I wouldn't be here today, even on this platform, had it not been for B. Hey, B.
Right.
Hi, B. We are grateful for you. That comment you just don't know. It's amazing. And of course, all things ruthless, Tika says, and gratitude, Tika. So since Indigo B brought it up, survival kept you here, Cassandra. But choice is what gave you your life direction. And when you choose yourself fully, leadership becomes inevitable.
That's it.
Now, you're here advocating for mental health, especially in rural communities. Why is that so personal for you?
This is home. As I mentioned earlier, I was born here, but I did not have an opportunity to grow up here. And one thing I do appreciate learning about along the way in my adulthood and just learning things is epigenetics is real. Understanding that you carry traits from at least up to 15 generations back of your environment, who you are, and your genes almost mutate to that type of standard. You know what I'm saying? I always joke and I tell people I must come from a line of breeders with my slave line, because all we know is to please a man, lay up with somebody, have children, but never be chosen as the one. We were always options in my family. And I always thought that's what I always had to be, was just an option. You know, I never knew that I could be the choice until I started utilizing my voice and not being afraid of what was coming out my mouth, as if, because there's some things I can say that just will make people feel uncomfortable. But I mean no harm by anything. I truly just, I'm curious. I ask a lot of questions, and I learn by conversation, you know, because a lot of me not really having guidance or growing up or even having the proper way of how to be a lady even was just me emulating the environments I just happened to be placed in. You know, so I just kind of mimic what was around me. And so to even hear being strong for somebody or anything like that, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is just normal to me. Like, I don't see what strength came from being what was normal to me. But I don't take it for granted now when I hear it. And I appreciate it so very much. And I think I've gotten off topic of the original question.
No, no.
Oh no, it's all full circle.
Yeah, it's all full circle. You know, I like the fact that you discovered the power of embracing your intuition. You
That's
allowed
it.
your intuition to guide you. And some people
That's
call
it.
it motherhood, you know,
That's
depending on the
it.
circumstances, but everyone can embrace their intuition, whether they're a mother or
That's it.
not. So I'm curious now, you're in your community, you're doing a lot of work and really helping those around you. What are people carrying in these communities that no one is creating space for them to talk about?
And you know, thank you for bringing me back to the point, because being down here in this rural area, we don't have resources. We have a lot of people who don't speak because they're still afraid of retaliation. Um, if we say something, it's not going to get done. It's not going to get heard because um, it's almost like there's a lot of power down here that's being held by certain people and has been happening for generations. And that's what brought me back to epigenetics. So like my folks closer down here in the rural South area, they're really still very close to Jim Crow segregation mindset.
Come
Even
on.
as I speak now, I have so many people who pat me on the back and congratulate me, but they'll also tell me I can't show up to this event because I don't want to lose my job. Um, I like what you're doing, but I can't be the one to say it because I can't get the retaliation, and it hurts me because why can't you use your voice? Some of the people who can make the changes that we need in this community are elected officials. So if we're not exercising our right to vote and put people in there who reflect your mindset, your thought process, your concerns, then now we got to go back to my AI narrative and take accountabilities as to why we don't have the resources. Why don't we have enough resources here we don't have any recreational activities for our children. I'm in an area where there's one high school, one middle school, one elementary school for the whole county.
Wow.
So we are a county of over 12,000 residents, about 1,200, 500, 12,005 or 700 residents, right under 13,000 people. And we'll just say, for the sake of easy math, we'll say, you know, out of the 12, 7,000 are adults, elderly, and 5,000 are children. They're all being put in one school, one program, and there's not even anything to kind of help separate the special needs from, they're all just kind of cattled together and pushed along. And so we when I speak and I go, and I have been to Atlanta. Matter of fact, just a quick note here: February 18th of last year is when Sinatra McNeil took his life. February 18th of 2026, I was standing on the state capitol as an advocate for Mental Health Awareness Day at the Capitol, and I was speaking with legislators to bring resources and change down here. So 1 year, on my 1 year anniversary of seeing everything and coming into my purpose, 1 year later on the exact day, I was speaking with people who can assist us with some change. But that is a struggle that I took by myself, and a lot of people are not willing to take with me publicly because they're afraid of retaliation. So because so many people are silent, because we aren't speaking up about what we truly need so we can get the resources we have, we are very stuck still. And we need help with encouraging other people where they can find their confidence and understand, you are who you are. There are certain cultures of us and certain races that are just, they will have the bad attitude because they literally have just seen their mama get knocked down to the floor the night before, and now they're told to go to school and take a test.
Right.
You are a neighbor who's seeing the young man who hung himself, and 8 months later, his very best friend took his life as well in the same exact apartment. You do get tired of reaching out to community organizers and leaders and saying, hey, something's not right. This is a pattern. Something's not right. We need help. I don't know what to ask for just yet because I'm the first one to ask for it, but guide me at least. If you can't give me the help, guide me at least. But to be pushed to the side as if it's not a concern. I see why it breaks so many other people here, but I know better, so I'm going to do better. They don't know better in a sense. And I'm not trying to paint a picture of my community as just a town full of country bumpkins, because we got a lot of successful people here, a lot of prominent families who are doing great things here, but they're not breaking these stigmas so other people can flourish. And this is why we're constantly losing, like I said, 2 people last year in the same community from suicide. And the second young man was less than 30 years old too.
Yep, and that's very sad. Just watching 4521 says, amen, amen. And Mr. Blank says, welcome to Coverts. And Ada says, I love seeing my sister standing here strong, sharing her story. Just know your love has lifted a lot of us from that same ground you felt you couldn't get up from. Keep being the light we need. I love that.
Amen.
And another comment came in from Betty Hawkins. Amen, sister. We are at a standstill and there's no kind of resources at all. And you know what, guys, we appreciate that. And I'm going to say this because it needs to be said and we need to hear it. Sometimes the loudest struggles exist in the quietest places.
Amen.
Okay. And we have another comment that came in. I'm getting them all in. All things ruthless. Tika says, thank you for your courage. I am praying for your covering. And Just Watching says, you know, I'm always behind you, sis. And that's so beautiful. The support is just absolutely phenomenal. We see you guys and we honor you all.
Thank you.
With leadership and responsibility, you didn't just heal. You decided to run for office, and we see why. Based on everything you've shared with us. That's a huge leap.
Yes, ma'am.
And you shared why you took that leap based on the things that you're witnessing and the 2 sad young men that took their lives. What made you say, I'm not waiting for change, I'm becoming it?
I'm going to take that quote from Mahatma Gandhi and say, you know, I am trying to be the change I want to see. And now that I've educated myself more, I even understand that comment came from somebody who did not even care for people like me realistically, but it helped me learn that you can get a lesson out of anything. A good girlfriend of mine told me that, Cassandra, when you stop looking at L's as losses and look at them as lessons, everything will just work out for you. So I wanted to be that change. I wanted to be the face because, again, I have lived away from here and I know that there is better. So why not have that here too? I know what it's like to understand your mental better so you can be a stronger product of society and help generate income down here, help being homeowners, help being better parents. Because I'll tell you, this experience has definitely turned me into a better parent. And I took this risk to show others that they can do it too. I tell people all the time, I'm very transparent. Honey, I'm living right now in the housing authority, aka the projects. I'm baby mama number 4 to a man who, is has other children, and we are co-parenting well, but we're not together. Um, I am facing things daily. I am still battling with addictions that I had to feel like I need to be codependent on in order to make it. I am still battling with raising my special needs children by myself, and understanding that I'm seeing me in them. But nobody took the time to give me the grace that I give to my baby. So I thank God for it all and everything I went through, because it has made me a better person today. So I took this leadership serious, and I am being intentional about it. Again, going back to my AI narrative, I took accountability for my actions and what's going on. And now I'm being intentional about spreading knowledge so others can open their eyes and be more progressive with change as well. Because I don't want to carry this weight by myself. I do want a team with me. And I got some riders, y'all. I got some riders down here, and they ready to roll. Okay. We some Harriet Tubman's 2.0 back here. We finna take our people to freedom. You hear me? And I don't even just mean Black people. I mean anybody who's mentally restrained from living their best life.
Yeah.
We don't see color.
Because they,
Yeah. Right. You got a comment.
Yes. Could you read that, Linda?
Let me put on some eyeballs. Hold on.
She's hilarious, guys. I love it. We needed that little chuckle.
I know. I really admire your strength. This came from Shannon Bonner. I really admire your strength and perspective after overcoming such a tough period in your life. How have you navigated the challenges and emotions that can come with raising autistic children?
I love that question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I see it as a privilege and an honor to be raising these awesome children, because God set me in a place to have patience. I already know what raising my children in chaos is like, because I'm the product of that. I refuse to repeat history, and I educate myself. And what isn't available to me, I go out and get it, because I'm not supposed to do this by myself. And I'm not just talking about even being a single parent, but just the community, period. You should want to see your community grow and thrive and be better. You should want to say, I have pride in where I come from because my community supports me. And failure is not an option for me. So yes, there are challenges raising my autistic children, but I feel like there would be challenges raising girls had I been a girl mom, because I know that child would have been a reflection of me, and I would have really had to have some patience. I feel like there's challenges raising, just boys in general, being a single parent, because I give them what I can, but I can't give them everything. I feel like it's a challenge raising just Black children, period. I was just listening to a girlfriend of mine who was just giving me a situation, just locally, saying, how a certain group of children were being punished, but not like the same way as another group of children. And there was some differences, and, I'm just going to keep it very neutral right now. Some physical differences that we know why people were treated certain ways, but we have to be the voice for these children when they don't have a voice. Yeah. And so it is challenging. I am human. I'm not God. Mm-hmm. And I get tired, but I don't ever feel like I'm going to give up. I just know that this is my fate. And until I can work it out to where I can get the help I need, I'm just going to keep pushing forward. So what encourages me is seeing them happy. The laughter, the growth, the development. They were diagnosed. One was diagnosed as autism level 2. The other one was diagnosed with autism level 3. And they're twins. They're twins who will be turning 4 on Friday. And let me add, I'm a geriatric mom. So a little bit more patience. I will be 42 this year. My boys will be 4 on Friday.
So you know what? I'm going to interject there. And I'm going to tell you this. And this came on my heart to tell you.
Okay.
That was not by accident. And I'm going to let that sit. Okay?
I agree. and I'm gonna receive that.
Yeah.
Autism, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a special thing on so many levels.
Yes,
People don't understand it.
yes,
Pay attention. Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. That's all I'm going to say. Pay attention to your
that's it.
boys
That's it.
and what they enjoy.
Uh-huh.
Pay attention to that and
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
hone in on those particular gifts that they may have.
that's it.
Whatever you
That's it.
see, and this is what's coming to me to tell you, whatever you see, hone in on that, and
Mhm.
and all else will align the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Those two boys, beautiful boys, no mistakes. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Here
not.
for a reason.
Yeah.
that's it.
And listen, and gifted more than you know.
Woo!
I'm gonna be
I'm
honest
telling
with
you.
you. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no filter with those that have autism, and I
No,
appreciate that reality check.
they're
I love
real.
it. I
Real.
love it. That's one of the reasons why I watch the series Love on the Spectrum on Netflix.
Oh yes.
I can learn
Uh-huh.
so much about adult autism
Oh yes.
to prepare me to exchange and encounter those that are have those challenges as adults.
That's
Because
it.
your boys are
That's
gonna
it.
grow up and be men.
That's it.
Hey, I'm gonna be able to talk to them. I'm gonna be able to rap with them. I'm gonna be all right.
That's,
Just
that's it.
just watching 4521 said
Oh,
something.
I love that.
Indigo
I
Starseed,
love that.
awesome kid.
Beautiful indigo look. Awesome. The
That's
way
it.
she did it.
That,
Awesome.
that,
Kid.
that's
Listen,
it. That's it.
we're here.
That's it.
Yes.
That's
What
it.
was that comment before that though?
All right,
What is
we just watching says we are ready for change. That's sister
that's
girl
right.
right there. That's
Mhm.
the star over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I agree 100%. And listen, like I said, no mistakes there. And those two boys, listen, you said that you didn't. The people thought you were the strong one. Those are your pillars right there.
Yeah,
That,
right there.
that, y'all better tell me something because you don't have to tell me twice. Literally. Literally. You don't have to tell me twice. and to add an extra layer of beauty to that, the year they were born was on Mother's Day.
Come on.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Oh, Tika says, love the perspectives over here. Always great conversations. Chat, make sure you all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Oh, gratitude, gratitude,
Thank you.
gratitude. And we definitely will. Definitely will, because we I believe you did share that with us as well. So absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Well,
Tika.
well, Cassandra, after everything you carried, what did you have to unlearn about yourself to finally choose life? That's interesting to me. What did you have to undo?
All right now.
So, okay, I'm gonna put it out there on the table. Number one, I am a Virgo.
Oh,
I
me
have
too.
always felt like I had to be in control of everything in order for it to feel like it needed to be right, act right, do right. I have always been a mother hen, even though I was, again, like I said earlier, I'm the oldest child. I was second parent. I've always had to make sure everybody else was okay, and that if things didn't roll out perfectly, it wasn't going to be okay. I had to unlearn that life just is life, and it just happens the way that it did. Going back to my analogy about, just being on a heart monitor and the little thing, beep, 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 up and down. I had to learn that I'm not the only one who had issues. I always felt like I was alone. And I had to unlearn the loneliness. I had to unlearn the doubt, I had to unlearn just feeling like I had to be in control in order for something to be successful or come out right. I had to unlearn. I had to unlearn a lot of just control narratives, and I had to learn that it's human nature to be human. The way I grew up with my mother, it wasn't ideal, but my mom did the best she could with us, considering the little bit of help she had. And now that I'm back home down south and understand what her roots are, because my mom and father are both from this area, I see why you ran. I see why you picked up your children and took us to the city. But I also know how important it is to have a village and some friends and not stumble along the way trying to figure it out on your own, because while you're trying to figure you out, you left behind your chicks who also had to figure it out, you know. So as I've gotten older and I've been given so much grace myself, I give my mom and my father a lot of grace. They were young when they had me. And I can appreciate everything that has happened now. And I had to unlearn the art of letting go and not trying to pick it back up again. I can let it go for a little bit, but then I gotta go grab it again, you know, hold on to it, you know. Like losing weight. You feel good when you lost them 20 pounds, but when you go put it back on, you don't want to tell nobody about it. You don't want to take pictures no more. You know, you don't want to be involved no more. You don't want to tell people that you went back.
Yeah, listen, stop talking about me right now, okay? Look, stop talking about me right now.
All the time I'm talking to me.
Stop talking about me right now.
Yeah, you know, you're talking about healing. You're talking about healing. And healing is not just about what you've been through.
No.
It's about what you decide to do with it once you're still there. Or still here.
That's it.
I should say. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
So Cassandra, what kind of leader does your story shape you to be?
I'm going to be honest with you. It has shaped me to become what we've been talking about the whole time, which is a voice. And you have to lead with not only discernment, but compassion and understanding. You have to lead with empathy and sympathy and understand people's situations so you know how to help them. And you have to lead with truth and transparency. I don't hide how I got here. I'm not going to be 300 pounds a day and then be 150 pounds next week because I went and got surgery and I'm hiding how I had this transit. I want you to grow with me. I want you to see that the struggle is real, but healing, oh my goodness, is so beneficial. It's so fruitful. Thing. You know,
it's a beautiful thing.
So I just feel like I was.
Uh-oh. We may have lost her for a little bit, but that's okay. We'll keep on rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No.
No apologies. It happens. Technology, and we're in the midst of a storm. Stop it.
Oh yeah.
So we have another comment that came in. We had I don't want to miss anyone. I think it's Dr. B will BRB, or is that Be Right Back? Amazing conversation with my sister Cassandra. Love you always. Gratitude. And just watching is cracking up over here. And then she says, I've learned we never stop healing. We have to continually work on ourselves daily to be better to us and then to others. Absolutely. Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are completely depleted and if you do not work on yourself and heal yourself, how can you turn around and preach to somebody else or try to heal somebody else if you're not healed?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
And you just watching.
You know, being honest doesn't mean always telling all of your business. You know, just say, you know, hey, I get you. I done been there too. I done had to face these choices too, because I also want you to know I've come from that. So I'm not trying to, you know, be so comfortable with people that I can revert back to how I once was. I just want you to know I get why you're doing what you're doing. But here I am today, and I know you can do better. When you know better, you do better. But it's by choice, you know.
Yeah.
What is that saying? Growth is inevitable, but change is optional.
Yes.
You know, we all gonna have to grow. We all gonna grow older, but are you gonna choose to take accountability so you can live better, or you want to continue to blame everybody for why you're in the situation you're in? Because I got tired of blaming everybody else. I got tired of it.
Well, you know, you're a wonderful mother. You know, and your journey has shaped the way you show up for your children. Do you say?
Thank you.
Excuse me, guys. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And with that, you know, we talked about the autistic side of things. We talked about how wonderful those boys are, your pillars of strength.
Yes. Yes.
And you've told us about the things that you're learning, and we kind of touched a little bit on it. What does your life teach your children now that your words alone never could?
Mm-hmm.
I was losing you a little bit, Michelle, on that
Okay,
question,
that's
just a little
okay.
bit. It was
No
uh,
worries. What does your life teach your children now that your words alone never could?
oh, this might be cliche, but anything is possible. Um,
Mm.
Mm.
as
That's
long as you
wonderful.
just keep moving, anything is possible. Because I went from having both of my children not being verbal to 1 week after Sinatra took his life, I heard one of my twins call me mama for the first time. And
Oh,
they were they were about to be 3. They were getting ready to turn 3 at that time, you know. So um it's possible. What I pour into my babies is what I would want someone else as their spouse, as their friend, as their guardian, if something was ever to happen to me, to do as well. Um, but I also want them to know that they can do it as well. I don't baby my children. They don't know that they have disabilities. They're 3 going on 4. I don't say
Mm-hmm.
no, you can't do this because you have this. No, 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 no. We just go. We learn while we in the action of doing things. You know what I'm saying? We don't stop just because there's a speed bump. You know, we slow down a little bit and make sure we adjust and make sure everybody's equipped with the proper tools to move forward. But we don't
Yes.
stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Nope,
Just
not an
watching,
option.
just said it, just watching 4521 said accountability is a big factor for
Yes.
self-awareness. And that's
Mm-hmm.
power. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's something powerful in what we've heard here tonight. Um, People need to sit for a second and just think about what they've heard.
Uh-oh.
It's not just about survival. It's about choosing to
I'm really
rise.
losing y'all.
Oh no. Okay. There's something powerful in what we've heard tonight, and people need to sit
Okay.
with it for a minute. Okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just about survival. It's about choosing
Mm-hmm.
to rise and then reaching back for others.
That's it.
yes.
That's it.
You
That's
didn't
it.
just survive
That's it.
for yourself. Absolutely not. You did not just survive for yourself. You survived to become the answer for someone else.
That's it.
Because sometimes the life you almost lost becomes the life that changes everything.
Ooh,
Yes, Lord.
yes. Yes,
That's
yes.
it. That's it.
Cassandra, this is a question we love to ask
Okay.
because it's it causes us to, you know, we hear things about mirror work and shadow work and all kinds of things that can help us grow.
Oh yeah.
We like asking this question because it gets you to really get us to think about the same question for ourselves. If you could
Mm-hmm.
speak to your younger self in that moment, okay? If you could speak to your younger self in that moment, what would you
Uh-huh.
say? What would you say?
Um, don't
Ooh.
believe them, believe you.
Mm.
Don't believe them, believe you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Had I gone with my gut years ago and said, okay, I didn't get the response I needed from this person when I'm telling you I'm hurt, let me go ask somebody else. And grow in your confidence for yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Be the first person that you truly love so that other people know how to love you. So you don't try to
Ooh,
find your value in somebody
Come
else.
on.
Um,
ooh, yes. Look, I had to do it too. Yes.
we, confidence, self worth, and just believing you,
Mm.
sticking with your instincts and your gut. That would have taken me on a different path. I'm grateful for where I'm at. I ended up being who I am because of what I went through. But I know in my gut and in my spirit, because what I'm doing now is what I've been wanting to do 20 years ago. I
Mm.
just didn't have the guidance, the platform, the right ears listening or understanding me even. I could have been somewhere else. I could have been your next senator. I could have been your next president, had I had the right tools. Or how if I had have had the right knowledge of how to use the tools that were given to me, because we're all given tools in life. If you were born, you were given the tool of oxygen to breathe and grow, and I just didn't know how to handle me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, if you could interject real quick, because we know you're running for
uh,
county commissioner in your county,
yes,
please
Thank
share
you.
what the
yes,
county is and how we may be able
absolutely.
to support you. Give us a phone number, a website,
Your
something where we can
social.
support. Mhm. A social, yeah. So,
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again for giving me the opportunity to even speak on my campaign. One thing I like to tell people while I'm running for Telfair County Commissioner District 5. And what this is my county still has a board that's made up of multiple board members. There are certain counties in the state of Georgia where they only have one commissioner who makes like one decision for the county. And through knowledge and making sure I spread resources, I make sure that I share with people that your county level officials are the ones who deal with road safety, especially out in the county outside the city lines. They deal with health, public safety, health, and we constantly want to make sure that we know that we fit the right bill and we do what we need to do. But for me, I ran because it was an opportunity to just get on the inside, to gain more knowledge, to help spread that information back to the community so they understand their power of, again, their voice. If I am elected, I am an elected official, which means you put me in this position, you'll have to continue to carry me into this position too. Meaning you have to show up to these county commissioner meetings. You have to voice your concerns so I know what to take to these other four members because I'm only 20% of a vote. And also understanding my role, if I am elected as your county commissioner, I'm not going to be able to fix everything. I will not be able to fix what's happening on the city level. Because that would not be my role. And again, a lot of this stuff that I talk about is to educate people on what local politics is and how to utilize the power of local government so that we can make some changes and be the change we want to see as well. So I am running for Telfair County Commissioner District 5. I don't have a political background whatsoever. I'm an advocate. And I tell people all the time, I'm not a teacher. I'm not a preacher. I'm a reacher. I tell you
mm,
the truth
love
with my
that.
life. And I just simply, educate people on what I've been through, and hopefully you can utilize that to help you as well. So I'm running because I don't want to just talk about change. I want to be about that change, and I'm going
Yes.
against a lot of old traditions down here. Um, a lot of stuck in the ways, kind of everybody who's been in particular offices have been in them offices forever because no one's stepping up to run or make a change because fear, fear. So May 19th is primary elections here locally, but because in my particular district, there are 5 districts in Telfair County, I will be running for the 5th district. I'm the only Democrat running against one Republican. So primaries don't really impact me, but the November election, the general election, will be a big one for me. So if you want to continue to support my campaign, my movement, my advocacy, you can definitely follow me on Facebook under Cassandra S. Battle for Telfair County Commissioner District 5. Um, I, I, um, I, I just can be reached any way that possible. If people see this story tonight and they reach out to y'all, I can be reached through email. I want to be available because if I can link up with you and you can help me with resources too, like let's do this because I'm gonna end with this and say, win or lose, Cassandra's still gonna make moves down here. Okay, a title's not
Absolutely.
changing anything for me. A title's not changing
Absolutely.
anything. It's just going to
And we love
allow
that.
me to
We
lead
love
the
that.
power.
We love it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Cassandra, for being such an amazing light. You were destined to be here, and we are so grateful that you had that moment of reflection and, took that accountability, the first step, and remembered who you are and loved you first. And then now
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
pouring that love out to the masses. We
That's
have
it.
Augustine Clarita says, I see your strength. Keep moving forward. Love, Mama Augustine. Oh, and of
She
course,
is an
your
amazing
sisters.
woman.
Absolutely. I could tell you have an amazing support system. Your sister just watching says, forgive yourself as easily as you do others. You are destined to be great. We are on the right path right now, according to God's plan. Amen. Amen. Ashe.
That's,
Ashe.
that's
Ah,
it. That's it.
love it. Yes. So, guys, again, much gratitude for you all coming in
Thank you.
abundance and supporting this beautiful sis star on her journey. And it is a continuing journey because she has much work to do. And
Yes.
we are here to highlight her and give her whatever support that she may need. We
That's
spoke
it.
on it, Cassandra. You can reach out to us and, we could get these things going. So
That's it.
tonight, to our viewers and supporters, if you take nothing else with you, let it be this. Your story is not over. Your pain is not wasted. And your voice matters more than you know.
That's it.
Thank you so much for joining us, Cassandra. Everybody knows
Thank you
that
for having me.
once they see this, they can share it all over again, all over their own platforms. This right here, and don't you forget it, this is Infinite Perspectives.
That's it.
Absolutely. And this is where voices become visions and visions have infinite possibilities.
Come on.
I'm Michelle Diamond.
And I'm Linda
and
Boss.
My amazing, yes, and the beautiful Cassandra S. Battle.
Yes.
Until next time, love, light, and gratitude.
How you gonna change the things around you? Oh, what you gonna love inside of you? Oh, when you gonna hear his revelation?